Chicago no stranger to crime and unsolved cases.
Now some of the most notorious pieces of the past are going up for auction.
In a special report, Dane Placco walks us through the collection.
Potter & Potter Auctions on Chicago's northwest side looks like any other building in the neighborhood. But as we discovered during a recent visit, take a walk inside and you'll quickly discover it's holding a treasure trove of some of Chicago's darkest history.
This is a detailed look of the dirty underside of Cook County back during the day, about death in Cook County for about a 5-year period. It's an unusual archive.
Chicago crime writer and historian John Binder shows us part of his personal collection that's going on the auction block.
We are looking at an archive put together over the years by Harry Gloss, who was basically the chief investigator for the Cook County Coroner's Office from 1952 to 1957.
Harry Gloss was a colorful and controversial figure who kept his own files on more than 525 cases he handled during that time period. Files that include newspaper headlines, police reports, autopsy records, and hundreds of crime scene photos.
This is all meant to be official record. This is not meant to be cleansed for newspapers. This is the death scene.
Gloss kept all these records for a book he planned to write, but died before it ever happened. Binder bought the archive from Gloss's estate.
There's a lot of Chicago crime history in these boxes, huh?
Exactly, especially when you have two of our most famous murder cases over the decades.
Those two cases, the disappearance and murder of the Grimes sisters and the Schustler-Peterson murders, continue to haunt Chicago to this day. On December 28, 1956, 15-year-old Barbara Grimes and her 12-year-old sister Patricia disappeared after leaving a movie theater in Brighton Park, where they had just watched Love Me Tender with Elvis Presley. Their disappearance sparked one of the largest missing persons investigations in Chicago history, and even an appeal from Elvis himself for the girls to return home.
Here's a wanted flyer put out there. The girls were missing for some 3 to 4 weeks.
15,000 flyers were distributed, and police interviewed more than 2,000 people. But on January 22nd, a month later, the sisters' frozen bodies were discovered behind a guardrail along German Church Road in southwest suburban Willow Springs. The bodies were unclothed and showed signs of being punctured with an ice pick. A number of suspects were questioned, including a drifter named Edward Benny Bedwell, but no one was ever convicted.
But it terrified the city. 2 young, innocent girls can't go out to a movie without
When
getting...
people started locking their doors at night, right?
Yeah, that and obviously the Schustler-Peterson case really shocked the city of Chicago.
Just 1 year earlier, 13-year-old John Schustler, his 11-year-old brother Anton, and their 14-year-old friend Robert Peterson also disappeared after leaving a movie theater downtown, headed back to their home in Jefferson Park. 2 days later, their naked bodies were found in a ditch in the Robinson Woods Forest Reserve near Irving Park in Cumberland. For decades, the shocking case went unsolved.
It was just a gigantic series of question marks until years later a known pedophile, Ken Hansen, shot his mouth off about various things to people he knew, and that they turned around and testified against him.
Kenneth Hansen had been working at a Northwest Side horse stable owned by the notorious criminal Silas Jane, where police believe he lured, sexually assaulted, then killed the boys.
Was Hansen one of the people questioned in this case? Yes, he was questioned by the police, 39 years ago, 40 years ago.
In 1995, Hansen was convicted of the murders, dying in prison in 2007. Harry Gloss's archive contains hundreds of documents from each of the investigations, including Gloss's own notes from the autopsies of the Grimes sisters. On September 27th, it all goes on the auction block.
What do you hope happens to all of this?
Well, I hope it goes into a place where it's publicly accessible, and I hope that there's something there in terms of Harry Gloss's notes on the Grimes sisters case that is a spark to, even if whoever did it is dead, to reopening it as an active investigation, shall we say, and maybe getting to the bottom of it.
The auction breaks the collection into 4 separate pieces: the Grimes case, the Schustler-Peterson murders, arson and fire investigations, and the largest chunk, hundreds of death investigations, including the crash of a Braniff airliner at Midway Airport in 1955 that killed 22 people, the murder of a Chicago police officer, and scores of high-profile crimes.
This is an amazing look at Chicago in the 50s. This is, it's a slice of the underbelly of Chicago. And Chicago's famous for underbelly, and this is one of the best looks of that you're going to get.
Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.